I wonder if there's any audience there today.
I talked to that Laura, and as we're
Okay.
Virginia.
Melanie Martin.
All right. We're just going to confirm that our commissioners are online right now. Commissioner Alexander, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Commissioner Martin?
Present.
Commissioner Abbott?
I can say I heard Bill.
Okay. Chairman Morse?
Here.
Commissioner Kelly?
Here.
Commissioner Powers? Okay. Commissioner Gillette? Commissioner Meal?
Here.
And Commissioner Walker?
Here.
Thank you. Okay.
Do we have a quorum?
We do have a quorum.
Oh, quorum. I may misbehave today since we're on the phone.
I did not hear. Commissioner Gillette, are you on the phone? Commissioner Gillette? Okay, and Commissioner Abbott, are you there? Yeah. Okay, commissioners, we just want to remind you to mute your phones when you're not speaking, okay?
Yes.
Very good.
All right, thank you.
That place looks empty.
Okay, Commissioner Jacks, do you want to go ahead?
Good morning. Wanted to go over just a couple items here before we start the meeting, as this is our first meeting where most commissioners are joining us via telephone. Commissioners, please remember to say your name prior to comments or questions. Also, after each speaker, I will call on each commissioner to ask if they have any questions or comments. After the public hearing is closed, I will call on each commissioner to state their comments. Also, the Board of Supervisors has scheduled a special meeting at 12:30 p.m. today. If our business is not completed by noon, we'll take a break until 1:30 p.m. for lunch and then come back into session. Shall we go ahead and get started? At this time, I'm going to call the April 8th, 2020 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting to order. We will now do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Don't forget to bang the gavel.
And to the republic for which we stand, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Alexander?
Present.
Commissioner Martin?
Present.
Commissioner Abbott? Chairman Morse?
Here.
Commissioner Kelly? Commissioner Gillette? Commissioner Meal?
I'm here.
Here.
Kelly's here, okay. Commissioner Walker?
Here.
Vice Chair Jacks? We have a quorum.
Okay. Now it's time for our automated announcement message.
Anyone who has not signed in, please do so at the table located in the lobby. Should anyone wish to speak, please complete a request to speak form, which is also located on the lobby table next to the sign-in sheet. A request to speak form must be completed for each item you would like to speak on. Please note, there are stairs on the right, left, and center aisles, and we ask that you use caution when using the stairs. There is also a ramp located to the audience's left. If anyone has written comments, exhibits, petitions, photos, or letters they intend to present at today's meeting, have 17 copies and give them to a staff member at the back of the auditorium. Staff member, please hold up your hand for the audience. If you do not have 17 copies, you may use the overhead camera to present your documents. Please place your documents on the podium and line it up with the arrows indicated. If you want your documentation to go on record, you must hand them to the clerk after your presentation with the agenda item number clearly marked on the documentation. Members of the public cannot speak to staff members that are seated at the tables with microphones during the meeting. If you have questions, please see the staff member located in the back of the auditorium. All speakers will be limited to 2 minutes to make their presentation statements. Everyone, please turn off all cell phones or place them on vibrate during the meeting. If you must take a call, please leave the meeting area and go outside to have your conversation. We also ask the audience to refrain from talking with one another during the presentations and discussions. Today, the Planning and Zoning Commission will hear public testimony and then forward a recommendation to the Board of Supervisors. Everyone attending the meeting is asked to remember that the administrative building and campus are tobacco-free areas, which means no smoking is allowed from curb to curb. No food or drinks are allowed in the auditorium except for bottled water. If there are any items remaining on the agenda, the Commission will break for lunch for 1 hour per the Chairman's discretion.
Do I say still this?
Yes.
Today, the Planning and Zoning Commission will hear public testimony and then forward a recommendation to the Board of Supervisors. The items with a recommendation made by the Commission will be heard by the Board of Supervisors on Monday, May 4th, 2020 at 9:30 a.m. in the same location with the exception of any continued items. We need a motion to approve the minute meetings from the last month. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve minutes, Commissioner Kelly.
I'll second. Brad Meal.
We have a motion and we have a second. Those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it. At this time, we would have a call to the public. Don't think we have any today. We do have some speakers, but they'll be speaking on the individual topics. Okay. Item 1.
Item number 1 is an evaluation of a request for a rezone of assessor's parcel number 402-43050 from an RE 10A residential recreation 10-acre minimum lot size zone to an AR agricultural residential zone and an AR 2A agricultural residential 2-acre minimum lot size zone for a minor land division in the scenic vicinity Arizona Strip. Staff is recommending approval with standard conditions.
Is the applicant present? We appear not to have an applicant present. I would ask our commissioners if they have any comments on this particular item. Commissioner Abbott? Commissioner Alexander?
No comment.
Commissioner Kelly?
No, no comments.
Commissioner Morris?
No comments.
Commissioner Martin?
No comment.
Commissioner Meal?
No comment.
Commissioner Walker?
No comment.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve according to staff recommendations, Commissioner Kelly.
Second, Commissioner Moore.
Martin.
We have a motion and we have a second. All of those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Item 2A.
Item 2A is an evaluation of a request for a revision to acreage of London Bridge RV Resort Tract 3713, being a recorded subdivision including assessor's parcels numbers 12063-001 through 12063-055 and 825-02002, a roadway located in the Lake Havasu vicinity. We've received one letter in favor of this reversion to acreage. The applicant has also indicated that he would be available by telephone. If we have any questions for him, we can call him. Staff is recommending approval with standard conditions.
Thank you. Do we have any commissioner questions for the applicant? We can get the applicant on the telephone if so.
No questions from me, Commissioner Kelly.
All right, hearing no questions from any of our commissioners. I'll go down the roll call once again with our commissioners if they have any comments for this particular item. Commissioner Abbott? Commissioner Alexander?
No comment.
Commissioner Gillette? Commissioner Kelly?
No.
Commissioner Morris?
No comments.
Commissioner Martin?
I feel the request conforms to the current usage in the area.
Thank you. Commissioner Meal?
No comment.
Commissioner Walker?
No comment.
Looking for a motion on this particular item?
I'll make the motion to approve per staff recommendations. Keith Walker.
Second. Second, Kelly.
We have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Yay. Brad Meal.
Motion carries. Item 2B.
Item 2B is an evaluation of a request for amendment to the Mojave County General Plan for an HR high-density residential land use designation to a GC general commercial land use designation and an amendment to the Desert Hills Fire District Area Plan from an HR high-density residential land use designation to a GC general commercial land use designation for assessors parcels numbers 12063-001 through 12063-055 and 825-02002 in the Lake Havasu vicinity. As previously stated, we have one letter in favor. The applicant is available for any questions. Staff is recommending approval with standard conditions.
Thank you. Do we have any commissioner that would have questions for the applicant on the phone? Okay, hearing none, we'll go forward with a roll call to see if there's any questions or comments from from our commissioners? Commissioner Abbott? Commissioner Alexander?
None, thank you.
Commissioner Gillette? Commissioner Kelly?
No.
Commissioner Morris?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think it's going to be a benefit to the area. It's been an old RV, kind of dilapidated. It's in a very nice community, the west. I'm in favor of it.
Okay. Commissioner Martin?
This would be an improvement to the area.
Commissioner Meal?
I have a question. How old does Desert Hills Fire Department feel about this?
Mr. Vice Chair, Commissioners, Commissioner Mill, when we first received these items, we do send them out to reviewing agencies throughout the county. We did not hear from the Desert Hills Fire District, and we did not receive any comments from them.
Okay. This is also the tight end that was 2A, correct?
That is correct. What previously was proposed on this parcel was they were doing an RV subdivision, so they were actually going to sell each individual lot. They went through the process. They got the subdivision plat recorded. The developer has now since revised their plans, and they would like to do storage units instead. And so they would need to revert it back to acreage, which was the first item. This item is amending the plan amendment, the general plan amendment, from a high-density residential to a commercial, which there's commercial all through that corridor, the London Bridge corridor. And so staff is recommending approval that it would fit the area for a general commercial land designation.
I have a question on this. It has been brought to my attention. The board approved a deal 6, 7, 8 months ago out on Highway 95 between Havasu and Interstate 40. I was under the impression it was going to be a nice-looking development. I'll put it like this: I'm severely disappointed. You're letting this deal for these enclosed boat storages. I understand they are needed, but they're at the tip of being overrun, getting too many of them. That's all I got to say.
Commissioner Walker?
Nothing.
Looking for a motion on this item?
I'll move. Motion to approve, Commissioner Martin.
Second, Commissioner Kelly.
We have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Brad Meal.
Motion carries. Item 2C.
Item 2C is an evaluation of a request for a rezone of assessor's parcel numbers 120-63001 through 120-63055 and 825-02002 from an RRV, residential recreation vehicles zone, to a C2 general commercial zone for an indoor RV and boat storage facility in the Lake Havasu vicinity. We received the same letter in favor. Staff is recommending approval with standard conditions.
And once again, the applicant is available by phone if we have questions. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Do we have any commissioner that would have a question for the applicant? Hearing none, I'll ask each commissioner if they have any questions or comments for this particular item. Commissioner Abbott. Commissioner Alexander.
Question?
Commissioner Gillette. Commissioner Kelly.
No.
Commissioner Morris.
No.
Commissioner Martin.
No.
Commissioner Meal.
No.
Commissioner Walker.
No.
Looking for a motion for item 2C.
Motion to approve,
2C.
Commissioner Martin.
Second, Commissioner Kelly.
We have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Any opposed?
Brad Meal.
Motion carries. Item 3.
Item 3 is an evaluation of a request for a rezone of assessor's parcel number 306-47016W from an AR-10A agricultural residential 10-acre minimum lot size zone to an AR zone to bring the site into compliance in the Golden Valley vicinity. Staff is recommending approval with standard conditions.
I'll ask each commissioner if they have any comments or questions at this point. Commissioner Abbott? Commissioner Alexander?
No comment.
Commissioner Gillette? Commissioner Kelly?
No.
Commissioner Morris?
No, thanks.
Commissioner Martin?
No comment.
Commissioner Meal?
No. No.
Commissioner Walker?
No.
Looking for a motion for item 3.
The motion to approve.
I'll make the motion to approve with staff recommendations. Commissioner Walker.
Do we have
Second,
a,
Commissioner Kelly.
we have a second?
Second,
Brad
Commissioner
Meal,
Kelly.
second.
What-
Who was the second, please? Kelly?
Brad Meal did.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 4.
Item number 4 is an evaluation of request for a special use permit for a cottage industry on assessor's parcel number 306-37016F to allow for gravel cells in an AR-10A agricultural residential 10-acre minimum lot size zone in the Golden Valley vicinity. We've received one letter in opposition, one letter in response to that opposition, and 2 letters in favor. I have been informed that the applicant is here to speak if we have questions, and staff is recommending approval for with standard conditions.
The applicant is present here or by phone?
Mr. Vice Chair, she is here, and is waiting outside.
Do any of the commissioners have questions for the applicant? We can bring the applicant into the auditorium.
Brad
Yes,
Meal
I
does.
Okay, it appears that we do have some questions. We'll go down the roll call of the commissioners and get those questions answered. Commissioner Abbott? Commissioner Alexander,
Not at this time.
Commissioner Gillette, Commissioner Kelly,
No.
Commissioner Morris.
Yes. I've just, after going through the application, I have a question of what they're still applying. Not going to be selling any of the rock.
If you would state your name, ma'am, and address and help us with that question.
My name is Barbara Ziegenmeyer, 921 South Verde Road, Golden Valley, Arizona.
Thank you. Were you able to hear the question okay?
Excuse me?
Were you able to hear the question that the
No, I
Commissioner?
didn't. I'm sorry.
Hey, Commissioner Morris, would you repeat the question?
Yes, my question was, the application states that you wanted to do material sales out of the lot. And then the mitigation letter that was written by the applicant stated that they are make sale from the lot. So my question is, what special use permit for?
Mr. Vice Chair, I can help answer that a little bit.
Yes, please.
Commissioner Morris, the special use permit is for a cottage industry. The applicant will still be running the business from her home, and they will also have possibly display of rock. And so applicant or people that are coming to purchase the rock can come to the site and see what the rock looks like. They will also be keeping, I believe, 2 commercial vehicles there. And those things aren't necessarily allowed in the AR zone. You can't first run a business and have clients come in there looking at rock and have commercial vehicles. It's a little more intense than just a home occupation business, which we do have permits for. So with the intensity being a little bit greater, it does fit under the cottage industry section of our zoning ordinance that would allow for a business operation in a residential neighborhood with the occupant living on site and minimal traffic to the site. Does that help answer your question, Commissioner Morris?
Yes, it does. I just want to, I suspected that was the issue, but
Commissioner Martin, any questions?
Yes, I see on the list there are 12 visits per day. And how long would this special use permit be valid for?
Mr. Vice Chair, Commissioners, we do, I believe in our staff recommendation,
It states 3 years.
yeah. I was looking, there it is. So in our staff recommendations on the conditions, we put a condition on there for 3 years that it would be approved for, and they would have to come back and renew that at that time. What that does is allows us to evaluate whether or not it's going well, and if there's any changes that we would like to make at that time. Once they renew that, we could extend the special use permit for more time than 3 years, or put another 3-year time frame on it. Just depends on how things are going at that 3-year mark.
Thank you.
Commissioner Meal?
Yes, I have a question. According to the map that was up here 5 minutes ago, where it appeared as if where the proposed rock yard is adjacent to a residential tract as such. Was this a good assumption, or is it a fallacy?
Don't understand.
Mr. Vice Chair, Commissioner Mill, when you said a residential tract?
Well, homes.
Oh.
Homes and manufactured homes.
Okay.
What I am concerned about is dirt, dust, somehow or another, that area has become a wind zone. And if they're moving a lot of rock daily, it's going to end up in everybody's homes.
Commissioner Mill, sorry for not understanding your question at first, but yes, there are several. It's in a residential neighborhood.
It's in a residential neighborhood, but there is no rock being delivered out of the yard. The display is like a landscape in the front, and all it is so that the people can see the colors. There's no rock being hauled off the property. Or the people that actually come, they want to see what the rock looks like, or they have a handful of rock that they're wanting to match. So we'll go out and look at my landscaping.
Oh, okay.
So that we can see if we have that color. But there's no trucks. The only truck that's on the property leaves in the morning and goes to the quarry and gets the rock and takes it to the customer. And then the truck comes home.
Okay.
There's no
All right.
in and out.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Walker? No
Nothing,
question?
and if nobody else has anything, I would make a motion
Okay, we have a motion.
to approve with staff recommendations.
Second.
The motion,
Commissioner Kelly.
Alexander.
We have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Aye. Commissioner Martin.
Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
So we're good?
We're finished with that item. Yes, we're good.
Okay, thank you very much.
It passed.
Thank everybody.
Item 5.
Item 5 is an evaluation of a request for a special use permit for assessor's parcel number 306-07183B to allow for a public fiber optic utility facility in a C2H 1A highway commercial 1 acre minimum lot size zone in the Golden Valley vicinity. The applicant has called me and informed me that he will be available if we need to call him and ask questions. Staff is recommending approval with standard conditions.
Is the applicant present?
He would be available by phone if we need to call him.
Does any commissioner have a question for the applicant? We can get that applicant on the phone. Hearing none, going to ask each commissioner whether they have any questions or comments at this point. Commissioner Abbott, Commissioner Alexander,
Thank you.
Commissioner Gillette, Commissioner Kelly,
No.
Commissioner Morris,
No comments.
Commissioner Martin,
No comment.
Commissioner Meal.
Yeah, I have a question. What type of fiber optic?
Mr. Vice Chair, that's not a question that I would be able to answer, but if we are able to get the applicant on the phone, then we could answer that.
Let's go ahead and get the applicant on the phone and be able to answer Commissioner Mills' question.
This is Rex Atkinson, 5'9" Design. I have been following along the hearing, and I would be able to answer the question about the fiber optics.
Yes, please.
Okay, Brad Meal, and I have a question. What type of the fiber optic?
Sure. The fiber optic here is what they call a long-haul trunk line, and so what it does is it serves to bring information between data centers and whatnot. A lot of the big companies, your Google, Facebook, Amazon, they need to move the information from to keep their speeds up. And so Zayo puts down the backbone fiber and kind of leases it out to the telecom companies.
Okay, second conversation, is this in ground or above ground?
It's all in ground.
Okay, all right, thank you. That's all I needed.
Okay, Commissioner Walker, any questions for the applicant?
No questions for the applicant. If there's no other questions, I'd make a motion to approve with staff recommendations.
Second it. Morse.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 6A.
Item 6A.
Atkinson.
Has left the conference.
Item 6A is an evaluation of request for an amendment to the Mojave County or to the Mechanico area plan from a suburban residential to an urban commercial / industrial land use designation for assessors parcel numbers 206, 26, 111B, 111C, and 111D in the Golden Valley vicinity. We've received 4 letters of opposition on this item. Staff is recommending approval with standard conditions.
The applicant would like to speak on this particular item. I have a phone number for her. In person? Okay, please come forward.
Good morning, how's everybody?
State your name and address, please.
My name is Hugh Woods. Address is 2767 West Mechanico. You have my letter in front of you there. I oppose this rezoning for various different reasons, and I won't go into all the reasons, because like I said, you have the letter in front of you. But if the rezoning is approved, some of the things you need to consider: put in paved streets, sidewalks, playground for kids, street lighting, dust control during construction. These are critical items, in my opinion.
Yes, sir. Not the applicant? Oh, okay, just a speaker on the top. Correction, Mr. Woods is not the applicant. He is a person concerned over the item and is speaking for that. Any questions for Mr. Woods by any of our commissioners?
I have a question, Commissioner Martin.
Please ask your question.
To the applicant, why this particular area and not in one that's more conducive to multifamily zoning?
We don't have the applicant on the line at this time. Is that an option?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. We have Mr. Wood who is presenting his concerns over the project.
Okay, my error.
Is the applicant available by phone, or we've not heard anything? No, we don't have anything on that. So thank you, Mr. Woods. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. I'll do a roll call on the commissioners on any questions or comments on this particular item. Commissioner Abbott. Commissioner Alexander.
Yes, I have a comment. I was noticing that this is only to change the Mechanico area plan at this point. And
Commissioner Alexander, could you speak a little bit louder? It's very difficult to hear you.
sure, I'm sorry. I was just pointing out that this is just an amendment to the Mechanico area plan, which puts it in alignment with the Mojave County General Plan. That was my comment.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Gillette? Commissioner Kelly?
No.
Commissioner Morris?
I guess the question is the area plan change with the existing zonings out there and use?
Mr. Vice Chair, Commissioner Morris, would you be able to repeat your question? It was you kept breaking up a little bit.
Apologize. The question is the area plan change conducive to the existing conditions from a zoning and use standpoint for the area?
Chairman Morris, that is correct. Currently, right to the northeast, it's all commercial as well, and so this would change the area plan to commercial as well. The general plan was actually changed, I believe, in 2005, like Commissioner Alexander mentioned. Back in that time, and this is why I believe the county is the one that is requesting this amendment. It's not the applicant. In 2005, an amendment was made to the general plan, but it was never made to the area plan. So the general plan for these parcels show up as general commercial, but in the area plan, it stayed the suburban. So this would be correcting that 2005 amendment so that the area plan and the general plan match.
Thank you.
Commissioner Martin?
Yes, I have a question for staff. The immediate zoning around the subject parcel, is that single-family residential?
Commissioner, Vice Chair, Commissioner Martin, the zoning, surrounding zoning to, if you're looking to the northeast, it's commercial, it's highway commercial, C2H. Looking north and northwest, it is ROA, which is single-family residential. And then to the west, southwest, there is a multifamily residential zone directly adjacent to the bottom portion of these parcels. Across the street of Oatman Road, you do have a commercial manufacturing open lot storage zoning, and then another AR zoning, which is single-family residential.
Okay, I have a further question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so with the urban commercial zoning, I'm confused as to, it appears that they're doing triplexes. Where does the commercial fit into the triplexes?
So the next item is the rezone. This first item is the plan amendment to get it in line with what the general plan is, and change it from suburban to an urban / commercial type uses. for the area plan. The next item is the rezone, which would change it to the C2, and what you're talking about. Our C2 zone allows for commercial dwellings. They're not looking, the applicant is not looking at selling each individual residence in the triplexes. It's all going to be owned by the applicant on a single parcel or a few parcels, and therefore it becomes a commercial dwelling and a commercial use because it's essentially apartments, and would fall under our C2 general commercial zoning.
Thank you.
Commissioner Meal?
No, I have no question.
Commissioner Walker?
I have no questions.
I have one question following up with Mr. Wood's comments. When this property gets realigned, does that make any difference as far as the concerns Mr. Woods had with streets and playgrounds and those sorts of things?
Mr. Vice Chair, it does. When if this is approved, the applicant will have to go through our site plan process. We've already met with them on a pre-application meeting, and we've had most of our departments, environmental health or environmental quality, public works, several different departments within the county met with them and explained what requirements would be required. When they apply for the site plan, they will have to show those improvements. If Public Works requires that the roads need to be improved because their trip generation will create additional trips that would require the road being improved, then that's one thing that they would have to do. They would still have to meet all of our development standards according to our Mojave County regulations.
Great, thank you. Looking for a motion on item 6A.
I'll make a motion to approve the item based on staff recommendation. Alexander.
Second, Commissioner Kelly.
We have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Aye. Martin.
Oh, okay. The commissioner who made the second, would you say your name, please?
Kelly.
Commissioner Kelly. All right, so motion carries for item 6A. Item 6B.
Item 6B is an evaluation of a request for a rezone of assessor's parcel numbers 20626, 111B, 111C, and 111D from an AR 1A agricultural residential 1 acre minimum lot size zone to a C2 general commercial zone to allow for the development of multifamily dwellings in the Golden Valley vicinity. We've received the 4 letters of opposition. Staff is recommending approval with standard conditions.
Okay. We don't have the applicant present, so we'll move forward with any questions or comments from commissioners. Commissioner Abbott? Commissioner Alexander?
No.
Commissioner Gillette? Commissioner Kelly?
No.
Commissioner Morris?
No.
Commissioner Martin?
No.
Commissioner Meal?
No.
Commissioner Walker?
I have no questions.
Looking for a motion on item 6B.
Motion to approve 6B according to staff recommendation.
I'll motion, Alexander.
The second, was that Commissioner Alexander?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Aye.
Aye, Martin.
Motion carries. Item 7.
Item number 7 is an evaluation of a request for a special use permit for assessors parcel numbers 317-61025 and 317-56006 to allow for a private aircraft landing field in an AR 36A agricultural residential 36-acre minimum lot size zone in the White Hills vicinity. Staff is recommending approval with standard conditions.
We have the applicant by phone if any of the commissioners have questions. So at this time, does any commissioner have a question for the applicant? Hearing none, we'll do a roll call on commissioners to see if there's any additional questions or comments. Commissioner Abbott? Commissioner Alexander?
No.
Commissioner Gillette? Commissioner Kelly?
No, sir.
Commissioner Morris?
No.
Commissioner Martin?
No.
Commissioner Meal?
No.
Commissioner Walker?
I have no questions, and if there is no more discussion, I'll make a motion to approve with staff recommendations.
Do we have a second?
Second, Commissioner. Second, Commissioner Kelly.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Item 8.
Item number 8 is an evaluation of a request to rescind and cause the property to revert from a CMO, commercial manufacturing open lot storage zone, to the previous C2, general commercial zone, as requested by the applicant and having not met the conditions of approval as specified in Board of Supervisors Resolution 2005-051, which approved the rezone in the Kingman vicinity. This property was conditionally approved for a rezone to a CMO zone by the Mojave County Board of Supervisors in 2005. Vesting of the CMO zone was conditioned on improvements of the property within 1 year to meet the use for which it was conditionally approved. Staff is recommending approval with standard conditions.
Is the applicant present or by phone? No, I don't believe so. We'll do a roll call, see if any commissioners have any questions or comments at this time. Commissioner Abbott? Commissioner Alexander?
No.
Commissioner Gillette? Commissioner Kelly?
No.
Commissioner Morris?
No.
Commissioner Martin?
None.
Commissioner Meal?
No.
Commissioner Walker?
No.
Looking for a motion on item 8.
I'll make the motion as per recommended by staff recommendations.
Second, Commissioner Kelly.
We have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 9.
Item 9 is a discussion and a possible action, amend the Planning and Zoning Commission bylaws to acknowledge the Commission's recommendation of March 11th, 2020, to move call to the public to the end of the commission's agenda. On December 12th, 2018, the Planning and Zoning Commission amended the commission's bylaws to move the call to the public to the beginning of the agenda at the commission's meeting on March 11th, 2020. The commission recommended moving the call to the public item back to the end of the agenda. And if you noticed in your backup on this item, I've detailed on how we could just move that to the end of the meeting if that's the direction that the commission would like to go.
Thank you. We'll have commissioner discussion at this point. I'll go through the roll call. Commissioner Abbott. Commissioner Alexander.
I have nothing.
Commissioner Gillette. Commissioner Kelly.
None.
Commissioner Morris.
No comments.
Commissioner Martin.
None.
Commissioner Meal.
None.
Commissioner Walker.
None.
Looking for a motion on item
Keith
9.
Walker.
Has left the conference.
I would move we approve change from Morris.
Second, Martin.
Okay, so we had a motion by Commissioner Morris, was that? And we had a second by Commissioner Martin.
Martin.
Commissioner Martin, thank you. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion item carries.
Has joined the conference.
That gives us to item 10, monthly reports.
Mr. Vice Chair, Commissioners, we apologize. We do not have those monthly reports for you today.
Okay, thank you.
That's a shame.
That takes us to item 11, Commissioner comments, limited to announcements, availability, attendance at conferences and seminars, requests for agenda items for future meetings, and requests for reports from the staff. Do the roll call one last time here. Commissioner Abbott. Commissioner Alexander. Commissioner Gillette. Commissioner Kelly.
None.
Commissioner Morris.
Yeah, I just would like to state that I hope everybody stays well and we can get over this thing, get back to normal business, please.
Absolutely. Commissioner Martin.
None.
Commissioner Meal.
Yes, I have a question for staff. It has been brought to my attention one or two times on these proposed deals for boat storages. I realize it's not part of our agenda because we deal with the land and the zoning. Is there any way we could find out what they're going to use for building it materials so we don't have another disaster like's going on out here north of Havasu?
Mr. Vice Chair, Commissioner Meal, the county does not have any design standards within our ordinance as far as building materials on what we can and can't require for the development of their buildings. So as of right now, there's nothing that we could do to require them to meet any type of standards or design standards at least, or building materials that they would have to build with.
Okay, then I have a follow-up question. Is there something somewhere past us during the planning stages, the getting their permits and all that, so we don't have this type of deal again? Because where I'm coming from is I spend a lot of time up in that Mojave Valley in Fort Mojave, and they got 2, 3, or 4 nice looking boat storage outfits that have been there for years. and then you end up with this mess we got out here north of 95, and it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't to me. I'll put it like that.
To answer your question, they still have to meet the building code. So if they're proposing a steel building, they would have to meet the building code as far as they're concerned. But we do not have any design standards that we can implement any time during their application process.
Okay. So in other words, it's just dead in the water.
Yeah. So as far as requiring them to look a certain way, we do not have design standards within Mojave County.
Okay.
Commissioner Walker, any comments?
I have nothing.
Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. I really appreciate getting through today with our first big telephone conference, and appreciates everybody's help. And the staff did a really great job in preparing us for this challenge today. It worked out really well, I believe. So thank you very much, and look forward for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion.
I'll vote on it.
Okay, motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 We're adjourned. Thank you.